What's going on, guys? Michael from GPURisers.com in the Terra Datacenter right now. As you guys can see, it is empty. I think it was probably empty the last time I did a vlog here. I know that the vlogs have been few and far between, but I am actually making content. It's just not being uploaded pretty quick. But it was a little warm in here when I got here. We keep the AC kind of 76, 77, so I bumped it down. It is cooling off. We do not have a whole lot here. I think I kind of went over it in one of the other videos. We have some KSOs, jazz miners, gold shells. I mean, these are very small, low wattage things. The reason those are here is just simply because we don't have a spot for them in our Kansas facility. We don't want to just plop them down on the racks that we have for GPUs, and they wouldn't be suitable for the electrical layout that we have for all the ASIC miners, right? Because each slot has like 3,500 watts, so we're not going to put a polo miner there. So those are eventually going to Kansas. We just got to build out something for them. But the reason why I am here today is because we are building these out. And what these are of course, the GPURisers.com beautiful Omega frames. But these frames were not utilized a whole lot for mining. I know a lot of people bought them for larger cards. I use them for larger cards. I think the most full rigs I had were 12 card 3070 Ti rigs, and the reason these were built out and designed in-house by GPURisers.com, full CAD drawings and everything like that, is because we anticipated larger cards, right? Going into the 4000 series, we knew they were going to be a little bit larger, and larger they are. But the only thing with that is the 4090s are not really used a whole lot for mining, but what they are used for are AI. So that is what we are using these for. Now, the current setup here, of course, you guys can see the patch panels that we have here. We are actually swapping out all these Husky racks. These racks were originally used for mining rigs, right? Like the R8s and the X12s. We have a couple of them here. We have a couple of them running over there. And what this facility really has been recently is a storage facility slash getting rigs ready for Kansas facility. And that's because Lumen has taken forever to get online. We have been up for a couple months now, and we have been slowly perfecting the network and everything like that, getting it up and going, building out some nodes that I will show you over there. Super excited about all of that, but now we are venturing off into the AI. So that is a big thing. We have some customer rigs here. We wanted to make sure the whole network was kind of completely secure before we had anything, go up here. So that is what has been taking so much time. So we are finally up and going, and we are moving forward. So that is what brings it over to this. So real quick, I'll give you guys some specs. I don't quite remember the EPIC that is on this board. I do know it's 64 cores, 128 threads, and it is a higher end 3rd gen EPIC, which means we do have DDR4 RAM here. Each board is going to have 512 gigs of RAM. This one already has it. Each board will also have 5 of these ribbon cables. Now, these are very long ribbon cables. Fun fact, these ribbon cables are actually going to be sold by GPURisers.com, and these were the exact ones. And we were about to pull the trigger on it, but we just never did. We've been so occupied with other things as of recently that, we kind of been putting all of our focus into Terra and not so much new products. I don't know if the ribbon cables would have been that in demand, but they are in very high demand for AI. So we have 5 of these ribbon cables coming off, and we are going to be putting 5 4090s on each of these frames using the ribbon cables. Now, I know that's going to be drawing a lot of power, but from my understanding, and drop a comment down below if this is wrong, but there should be some sort of load balancing between the motherboards and the GPUs. And each 4090 will be powered by a dedicated 8-pin coming from each power supply. So each 4090 has 4, and we will have 4 on each one. And the way we're going to be able to actually do that is because the veteran miner is making every cable. That's why there's no cables here. He's making the motherboard cables, the CPU cables, which this requires 2 because it's an EPIC, and all of the VGA cables. Actually, the Molex cables for the fans will be stock cables, but long story short, each power supply has 9 VGA outs on it. Each power supply requires 4. So on one of the PSUs, we're actually going to be utilizing the CPUs to VGA, which the veteran miner can make custom cables for that, guys. So definitely hit up the veteran miner on that. He is the sole reason why we are able to use 2 ATX power supplies for our 5-card 4090 rig. But back to what I was saying earlier, and my understanding of it at least, is that it'll be able to load balance and pull from the wires because the GPUs will not be underpowered whatsoever. But these do pull up to 75 watts per PCIe lane, and some people mentioned possible burning or something of that sort. These are very high quality cables. But that said, we have not really seen any builds done like this, so we will keep a watchful eye on these, especially as we get them ramped up. Now, I know a lot of people in the AI field will use these other adapters. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but basically it is a riser, a traditional riser, like the one you would see with a 1X chip going to USB to a 16X board. However, the AI guys are using a 16X one to fill the 16X lane because they have to be on 16X. Not exactly 16X, but for the purposes of this video, yes. So you'll have one in the board, and then you'll have 2 ribbon cables come off to what looks like a normal riser, but that riser is powered. Now, I know a lot of people went that route because they needed to route these in very weird ways. And what I mean by that is they had to go to different server cases, and they needed smaller cables that they could kind of go in and out through and have them in server cases, kind of like the R8s over there. Not exactly like that, but probably actually this is a better example right here would be one of these. This is a PowerEdge R930 from one of our customers. So a lot of people want to get the cards in these, and they have to route all the wires and everything. But here at Terra, we do not have to do that. We are able to utilize the Omega frames and have ribbon cables kind of pass in and out. And our PCIe lanes are actually on the GPUs are going to hang right here, and the back of the card is going to be right here. So the whole bottom of the card is going to be open for the ribbon cables. So we are very excited about that. But enough of that. I told you guys kind of about the build. 2 1600 watt EVGA power supplies, 64 core EPYC, 128 threads, 5 4090s, half a terabyte of DDR4 RAM. And this is going to be a 5-card build, and we are going to be building 9 of these. That's right, there are going to be a total of 9 in our phase 1, which is 45 total 4090s. We may do a 10th one, probably not. We're not exactly sure. We're definitely going to be doing more, but this is our first phase. We have to get some electrical work done in here and everything like that, and make things look pretty. And like I said, we're probably going to get rid of these Husky racks here. So that is something to think about on our end. We are going to be redoing the power situation, probably putting it up here on the ceiling. You can see some unistrut right there. We have done. We kind of want that to go all along, and that's going to bring me over here. Quick update to the nodes that we have going on. So we have our traditional servers that look like this. This is our new EPYC server. This is a dual EPYC. The Mining King will be able to tell you more about it. I know it has a terabyte of RAM, newer EPYCs, I think 128 cores, 256 threads total amongst the two. A bunch of NVMEs, a couple, 12 terabytes of NVMEs. I don't know. A lot of Nimbus, a lot of Stratus running on these. Then we, of course, have our Titan nodes here, custom-built Titan nodes, battery backups, everything like that. These are running just fantastic. We have another one going in the bottom there. And, of course, our OG Cumulus nodes that these are very old servers, and it has been a fun ride with that. That's how I'll put it. So this is one of the other servers that we have right here as well. This is going to be put into a 2U server right there, but for the time being, we may do with what we had. And that is the node infrastructure that we have here. Do need to get rid of some of the old phones there. That is for another day, though. So that's kind of everything we're doing here. You guys can see a whole bunch of the GPURisers fans. That is for the Omega frame build-outs. We have a case here that we were testing stuff on hoping to be able to rack mount some of this AI stuff, but after going through it, that is a no-go. So that's also another thing why I'm kind of glad these Omega frames are being utilized, because there's not really another frame out there like the Omega frame. So it works really, really well with what we're doing, and that is very exciting. So that is pretty much everything that is going on here. I can show you guys a little bit more. We got some power supplies here, some more 1600 watts up there, a bunch of 4 terabyte NVMEs right over there, a ton of RAM. Here, let me show you this. This was a fun one when I opened it. I already took some out of here, but each of these are 32, each one is 64 gigs. We went with the big boy epics. Mining King picked this one out. So these are going to be very powerful machines, and we are very excited about that. All we're gonna have Noctuas very similar to what mining rigs look like, right? I mean, we have some older mining rigs over here. Very cool liquid cooled 3090 Kingpin right here. But if you guys look at this build out, right? I mean, this is probably from a couple of years ago. I had rigs look like this in 2018-ish is when I started going to the 12 card stuff. But when you're looking at this, it's like, that looks, you got 2 power supplies, you got a motherboard, you know, a lot of power, an open air frame, kind of have come full circle, right? We went from that to putting them in server cases like the R8, and now we're doing an AI build, but yeah, utilizing and seeing open air frames kind of brings like a sense of joy. I don't know why. It reminds me of the old days, even though it is not crypto mining. This is not at all crypto mining. Some of these will be going on Flux Core. We are waiting for POUW so that we have that option enabled. So I guess it will be crypto mining when it's not doing that. But a majority of these will be doing just pure AI. Now, we don't know what platform yet we are going to be using. We're in talks with a couple of them. One of the most popular ones, you guys have probably heard me say it a million times, is Vast AI. That is what I currently use for my own personal farm, and that is what a lot of the guys on the Terra team use. Excuse me. But there are a lot of other platforms that have requirements that are very difficult in a home or even an office setting. Requirements that require, you know, like 5-10 gig fiber. You're not going to get that in a residential setting. Multiple IP addresses, multi-card rigs, you know, like 5-card rigs and stuff like that that are harder to build in a home setting, like 4090s, you know, 2500 watt rigs, things of that nature. So we are looking at a couple options, but we don't yet know what it is. We are likely going to start on Vast, and the reason for that is because we will be able to build up a reliability score. We'll be able to test the units, and we're familiar with it, right? And then we can go to other platforms, show them what we have, and say like, look, this is what we have. It's been running for a while now, and we'll feel comfortable, because these other platforms, if you are not set up right, if you go down once, you get penalized. Actually, you get 1 free reboot a month, 1 free reboot a month. If you get 2 reboots, then you lose 25% of what you're making. Now that is no bueno for a company like Terra. We will not have that. We'd rather go on a different platform and have, you know, less, you know, risk of that. These will be able to forecast more accurately. But we are in the bunker here, and I'm calling it the bunker now because this technically is the GPURisers bunker, because I moved all of my crap from the bunker over here. I no longer have the bunker, so I will use that term loosely. But yeah, we have very stable power here. It's not going to be a backup power for the AI stuff. We have backup power, which is basically just the battery backups, right, for all the nodes and stuff like that. But our power never really goes down here. This building really is kind of a bunker. You know, we have a false floor here that goes down. We got no windows, 3 doors. I mean, it's the power never really goes down. And then of course we have our internet, which I can't show you the other side because of network security, integrity, and all that. But here's our modem from Lumen. It's a 400 gig tunnel. Our internet is never really going down, so not really worried about that. Sorry guys, trying to close this. And if our internet does go down, I think it's like something like 12 seconds, more than 12 seconds, we start getting paid from our provider, Lumen. So that's crazy. We have not had any outages since we got it on. No power outages, anything like that, but it can happen, right? So long story short, we kind of have to figure that out. And, you know, I don't know, we've been here for a year, and I want to say we probably had 2 power outages, and both of them were related to the installation of this weird thing that they have next to the train tracks. We are on the train tracks, so I don't know what that was, but other than that, no rainstorms, no anything caused any problems. So I think we're okay, but we're gonna figure everything out. It is a learning process. Again, we don't 100% know if the ribbon cables are gonna work. We hope that there's not gonna be any heat issues or anything like that. We are gonna be keeping a close eye on them. So that's that, guys. I don't yet know what internet we're gonna use on these. These have a 1 gig NIC on them. And of course we have up to 100 here from Lumen. But it costs more as we go up, right? We could call them and they'll up it to whatever we want for 400, but we have to pay for it. So we kind of have to do a cost benefit analysis on that. So I don't know, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm gonna keep trying to get these vlogs out. I'm definitely gonna be doing more vlogs as we build out Melbourne and as we build out Kansas when I'm over there. So any questions you guys have, also please drop a comment down below. I'm gonna be more active on YouTube from now on. And of course, tune in to Wired Wednesdays. Every Wednesday night, me and the Veteran Miner have our live show, and we switch off on channels. So make sure you sub to Dave from the Veteran Miner. But that's gonna be everything. I gotta build these rigs, and I mean the electrician here in probably about 30 minutes. So hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and I'll see you guys next time.